In this chapter, we'll look at the different types of retailers or retail formats. Before we look into the different set of formats, we need to understand the psychology of classification of these formats. On what basis are these different formats of stores being made? There are a lot of multitude of parameters, and each of these parameters or combination of these parameters actually help us in defining the different category of formats for the retail stores. Some of these parameters are the merchandise or the variety of products offered or the assortment of merchandise offered. We look at the concept of breadth and depth in further slides. What are the services is my store offering? What is the atmospherics of the store? The design, the visual appeal of the store? Where is my store located? What are the different price offerings on my merchandise? And could be an infinite variation of this or even factors like who are the target consumers that I'm trying to cater to, whether I'm a high-end luxury store or a discount store. All of these categorizations will be based on certain parameters. But if I have to look at three major parameters, would be the product in terms of the variety and the assortment, the service that I offer, and the price variation of these products and services. Now, to further understand what am I referring to when I say the breadth as well as the depth of merchandise, the number of merchandise categories refers to the variety or the breadth of merchandise. The more number of categories, the more it will be a wide more breadth, or if it's a lesser number of merchandise categories, it could be narrow, as we see in the visual example here. And the number of items within that category, let's say a category of mobile phones, and if I have the more number of varieties of mobile phones that I'll be offering, would be a deep depth, and the lesser number would be a shallow depth of merchandise. Taking a very practical example of the body shop, let's look at the breadth and depth assortment here. The body shop has multiple product lines: bath and body, skincare, makeup, hair, fragrance, men's accessories. All these product lines make up the breadth of the product category. Under each of these categories, there are subcategories like body cleanser, body moisturizer, body scrub, fragrance, cleanser, eye care, serum. These are nothing but the subcategories, and this is the depth of the merchandise that is being offered. I could further break this down because Body Shop is a very specific kind of a specialty store offering only products within skincare products and bath and body works products. If I look at the bath and body category, I can further split each of the body cleansers, moisturizers into categories like soap, shower gel for body cleanser, and soap could have different fragrances like shea, strawberry, olive, moringa, etc. All of these subcategorization that you see here, it's actually a very deep uh, what do you say, depth when I talk about bath and body. All of this is being done catering to the target consumers, and we all know that body shop caters to a very high-end consumer market, because that's not something like the normal Lux that we would buy or normal Dettol that we would buy. The kind of products cater to a particular kind of audience. Now let's come to the categorization of stores uh, at an umbrella on a very high level. A very high level, the retail formats are organized as well as unorganized, and this would be very specific to the Indian markets when it comes to the unorganized formats. When you look at a very markets in a more developed world, we would only talk about the organized formats. But in India, we can also talk about the unorganized formats. What basically are these organized and unorganized formats? When I talk of organized formats, basically I'm looking at licensed retailers who are basically registered for sales tax, income tax, and comprises most of the malls, supermarkets, hypermarkets, etc. If I'm looking at unorganized, it's more of the local store, a local kirana store beside my house. It could be a pan and BD shop or any other owned general store. These kind of retailers do not pay taxes, and most of them are not even registered for sales tax, GST, or income tax, or any such thing. They are um, do not keep in accounting books, and generally run a very small investment is required for the unorganized to start up an unorganized retail, and less investment in terms of land, capital, or labor. And generally are family run businesses, and people who run it are also not very educated. Four different formats of unorganized formats. Four larger categorization of unorganized formats in India is mandis, Haats, melas, or local kirana stores. Now, mandis are nothing but they are regulated formats. What they are is nothing but the agricultural markets set up by the state governments to procure agricultural produce directly from the farmers. Um, this is done so that farmers can directly make good amount of profits, and they can again be categorized based on the type of product that the farmer is offering. It could be grain mandis, cotton mandis, soya, vegetable mandis. Uh, that's what a mandi is. If you actually just Google out mandi, you'll be able to see the photographs, and you might have visited a mandi, but it's a good experience to actually go to one of these mandis. If any of you have um, people working in these sectors, try to go and visit a mandi. Not possible in the current environment. A hearth, on the other hand, is an unregulated market, which in our local terms we would say Sante. We have the Wednesday Sante or the Sunday Sante or the Wednesday Bazaar. It is a area where public would gather. A lot of sellers, commodities which can be sold are fruits, vegetables, household goods, clothes, accessories. If you go to a village, the hearts could be in terms of pottery, bangles being sold. The more common ones which we get to see here in our city is the vegetable hearts or something, and it's a place where I can just come and buy all the items that I want at once, and does not happen at all times. I mean, it's not does not have a particular store and regulated because it can happen beside the street also. The melas are more like village fairs where you would have on the giant wheels and some kind of program that is happening. It can run for a week, it can be less than a week, it could be a day fair. Let's look at something like we have Karavali Utsav, which happens here in Mangalore. That's kind of a mela where you can actually go and sell your products in that mela too. It could be products that is homemade products or any other kind of established product too. These are unregulated. Again, unregulated. I mean, there's no anybody can register and go and sell products there. The other one which we normally see, which are around, is a kirana store, and these kirana stores sell basic staples like food and groceries. Um, Things like our daily what do you say daily FMCG goods like soaps, toothpaste, hair oils, anything with chocolates or looking cooking oils. It could be any such kind of products which is being sold in a local store. Now let's look at the organized formats. Okay, before we look into the organized formats, just what I explained, if I have to look at a differentiation, organized has low operating costs and overheads, has a more variety of goods, longer operating hours, and definitely you get quality, different brands that you can go to an organized store, like a supermarket or a hypermarket. I would prefer to go there because of that brand assurance. But I can go to unorganized format because I know I can have a lot of bargaining power there, a lot of loyalty with my. He'll give me stuff for on credit. There's a proximity to consumers in that aspect. Their longer operating hours. Generally, the Kirana store beside my house, he would stay up till 10:30, 11. It's unlike you see in the cities where they would have a particular time period when the larger stores would close down. So they build a stronger customer relationships. And convenience and hygiene, not so much. Again, I would say it's convenient, but hygiene is subjective to the kind of kirana store that I'm talking about, okay, or that I'm visiting to, rather, that's the right word. The organized retail, they are sponsored by large companies, larger formats, which we've already spoken about. They have the right ambience to actually make shopping a pleasure. They use all the latest technologies, employ a large number of people, and they are good at managing costs. And they do offer consumers value for money in terms of the assortment of products that is already being offered. And because I have a large assortment, I know that I can get the best of money. I can go and select the products that I really want to. Now let's come down to the different types of organized formats. The organized formats are largely classified based on the ownership of stores, the retail strategy mix, and then there are the non-traditional formats. The other way of looking at it, the organized retail formats, is store-based retailing, non-store-based retailing, and service retailing. What I'm talking about in the earlier slide, which is ownership retail strategy, is nothing but a different way of categorization of nothing but which is in this particular slide. Store-based retailing on ownership and merchandise offered, a non-store retailing as well as the service retailing. So three major categorization. We'll look at each one of those in the next video. I'll end it right here, and let's look at the next video where we'll actually talk about the different types of store formats.